This is not a drill. The countdown has begun. Forget the official stories and the calm voices on the news telling you everything is fine. Behind the scenes, the system is fracturing. August 2025 is shaping up to be a catastrophic tipping point for our food supply. They will not warn you when the trucks stop running. They will not tell you when the warehouses are empty. By the time they admit there's a crisis, the shelves will be stripped bare, and it will be too late. You will be left with nothing. But what if you could opt out of that chaos? What if your family was safe, your pantry full, while everyone else panics? Today, I'm giving you the strategic plan. The 10 essential, affordable grocery items you must secure right now. And you need to listen to every word. Because item number 3 is a tactical advantage, a secret weapon in a crisis that most people don't even know exists. Your survival could depend on it. Let's get one thing straight. This isn't about panic buying. It's about smart buying. The game has changed. We're dealing with a perfect storm of geopolitical tension, wild weather patterns messing with harvests, and new tariffs jacking up the prices on imported goods. We're already seeing food prices creep up, and the latest USDA forecast predicts a 2.2% increase for food at home this year, continuing a trend that's squeezing every single family. This is about building a buffer, a safety net that lets you sleep at night. It's about making small, smart moves today so your family is secure no matter what happens tomorrow. And we're not just making a list. We're going deep. Why each item is critical, how to store it so it lasts forever, and how to use it to make meals that are actually delicious when things get tight. This is your masterclass in building a pantry that can withstand. So there it is. Item number 10, powdered eggs. Kicking off our list at number 10 is something that weirds a lot of people out, but it's an absolute beast in a long-term pantry. Powdered eggs. I know. The idea sounds strange, but here's the reality check. Fresh eggs are one of the first things to vanish in a panic, and even if you get them, they only last a few weeks. Powdered eggs? They solve that problem completely. Stored right in a cool, dry spot, they can last for years. We're talking even 25 years for some brands. So, why are these so critical for August 2025? The price of fresh eggs has been on a roller coaster, driven by everything from bird flu outbreaks to the insane cost of feed and transport. Powdered eggs let you lock in your price now and secure a crucial protein source before things get even crazier. And nutritionally, they're a powerhouse, full of protein, which your body desperately needs in a high-stress situation. But here's the kicker most people miss: baking. Powdered eggs are the binder. They're what makes your bread rise, your cakes hold together. Without them, your ability to make comforting, calorie-dense foods from your stored flour and sugar disappears. No birthday cakes. No pancakes. Think about that. Here's the pro tip. Look for powdered eggs in number 10 cans that come with oxygen absorbers. That's the packaging for maximum shelf life. When you go to use them, just rehydrate them right. The magic ratio is usually 2 tablespoons of powder to 4 tablespoons of water for 1 egg. Whisk it till it's smooth, then use it for scrambled eggs, omelets, whatever. It's a versatile powerhouse that ensures you don't give up on good food when things get tough. Start with 1 can. Get used to it now, so it's second nature when you really need it. Item number 9, vacuum-sealed tortillas. Coming in at number 9 is a brilliant and totally underrated swap for bread: vacuum-sealed tortillas. Bread is a staple, but let's be honest, it lasts a few days, tops. And the stuff to make it? Like yeast? Good luck finding that in a shortage. This is where tortillas become your best friend. The vacuum-sealed kind you find at the store can last for months unopened in the pantry. But their real value is how versatile and space-efficient they are. They're flat, they stack, and they take up almost no room. A huge win when you're trying to cram as much as possible into your storage. In a crisis, you need multitaskers, and tortillas are the definition of a multitasker. You can make wraps, quesadillas, or mini pizzas with some canned sauce and that freeze-dried cheese we'll talk about later. Fry them up, and you've got morale-boosting tortilla chips. Bake them with cinnamon and sugar, and you've got dessert. The reason to stock up now, in August 2025, is all tied to the grain markets. The cost of wheat and corn flour is trending up, thanks to shaky situations in major grain-producing countries and unpredictable weather. Buying tortillas now means you're getting them at a price you probably won't see again in a few months. Here's the insider tip. When you're at the store, be that person who digs to the back. Find the package with the expiration date furthest out. Maximize that shelf life. And here's a trick for when you open a package. They freeze perfectly. Just slide a little piece of parchment paper between each one so they don't stick. Then you can just pull out what you need. It's the perfect solution for your carb needs. Ready to go with zero prep. Item number 8. Nutritional yeast. All right. At number 8, we've got a secret weapon for flavor and nutrition that every single prepper needs to know about. Nutritional yeast. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you're in for a treat. People call it nooch. It's these yellow flakes that have a savory, cheesy, nutty flavor. So why is this a must-buy for August 2025? 2 words: nutrition and morale. First, the nutrition is insane. Nutritional yeast is loaded with B vitamins, especially B12, which your body needs for energy. When fresh meat and dairy are off the table, getting enough B12 is a huge challenge. This solves it. It's also a complete protein, with all 9 essential amino acids. Second, and this is huge, is the flavor. It's a massive morale booster. When you're staring down another meal of rice and beans, food fatigue is real. Being able to sprinkle on a rich, cheesy flavor changes the entire game. It can make a bland, boring meal into something you actually want to eat. Put it on potatoes, pasta, popcorn, anything. The pro tip here is to buy it in bulk from a health food store. It's way cheaper than those tiny containers. And for storage? It's a dream. In an airtight container in a dark, cool place, it lasts for up to 2 years. With dairy supply chains looking fragile and cheese prices going up, nutritional yeast is the shelf-stable, delicious alternative that can upgrade your entire pantry. Don't wait. Item number 7. Canned coconut milk. Our number 7 pick is canned coconut milk. This is an incredible, calorie-dense fat source that most people completely overlook. In an emergency, fat is everything. It's fuel. It helps you absorb vitamins. And it makes food taste rich and satisfying. People stock up on cooking oil, but they forget about this gem. Canned coconut milk is a pantry workhorse. It lasts for 2 to 5 years and it does double duty. When fresh dairy is gone or costs a fortune, coconut milk is your go-to. Use it to make creamy curries and soups, add it to your rice to make it richer, use it in baking. The high-fat content keeps you feeling full, which is critical when you're rationing. The reason this is a key item for August 2025 is because a few things are happening at once. Dairy prices are still a concern. On top of that, the countries that produce coconuts are getting hammered by extreme weather, which messes with the supply. With global supply chains still so fragile, locking in imported goods like this is just a smart play. Here's the pro tip for coconut milk. When you open a can, you'll see the thick cream has separated and risen to the top. That's liquid gold. Don't mix it in. Scoop that cream out and use it for sauces or whip it for a dessert topping. Use the thinner liquid at the bottom for cooking your rice or as a soup base. And make sure you're buying the full-fat version, not the light stuff. In a crisis, you want every single calorie. A case of this gives you healthy fats, a dairy substitute, and a flavor booster all in one. Okay, we're halfway through, and I'm curious. What do you think is absolutely non-negotiable? What's the number one thing in your stockpile that you would never, ever be without? Drop it in the comments below. We all get smarter when we share what we know. I read every single comment, and your ideas are what make this community so valuable. Now, let's get to our next item, which is a true survival classic. Item number 6, SE. Dehydrated soup mixes. At number 6, we have something that's all about convenience and comfort in one little package. Dehydrated soup mixes. Let's be real. In a crisis, you won't have the time or energy to cook a complicated meal. Dehydrated soup mixes are the perfect answer. They need one thing to become a hot meal: water. Their biggest advantage is how efficient they are. They weigh nothing, they're compact, so you can store a ton of them without taking up your whole pantry. They last for years and come in so many different flavors, which is key to fighting off that meal boredom. You can get anything from chicken noodle to hearty bean. That variety is crucial for keeping your spirits up. Stocking up on these in August 2025 just makes sense. Think about it. The dehydrated veggies, the bouillon, the pasta, the spices, every single ingredient is facing its own price hikes and supply issues. Buying the mix now is like locking in the price of a dozen different things at once. As inflation keeps hitting us, these all-in-one meals are going to look like a bargain. The pro tip for soup mixes is to stop thinking of them as just a meal. Think of them as a base. This is where you make your stockpile work for you. Got extra rice or pasta? Throw it in to bulk up the soup. Canned chicken or beans? Stir them in for more protein. That canned pumpkin we're about to talk about? A spoonful will make it thicker and add a ton of nutrients. A soup pouch for 4 people can easily be stretched to feed 6 or 8. It's the ultimate just add water meal that delivers warmth and comfort when you need it most. Item number 5. Ghee clarified butter. Our number 5 spot goes to an ancient survival food that modern preppers have been sleeping on for way too long: ghee. Ghee is just clarified butter. All the milk solids and water have been removed, leaving pure butter fat. That process gives it 2 superpowers for storage: a ridiculously long shelf life and a high smoke point. Regular butter goes bad in a few weeks without a fridge. Ghee? It's shelf-stable for over a year, easily. That makes it an incredible source of cooking fat and calories that doesn't need a working refrigerator. In a grid-down situation, a stable, high-quality fat is a complete game-changer for cooking and flavor. Ghee was literally invented in India to preserve butter in the heat. It's a proven survival food. Now, with dairy prices climbing and the cold supply chain looking shaky, having a butter that doesn't need a fridge is just common sense. Here's the insider info on ghee you need. Because the milk solids are gone, a lot of people who can't handle dairy are fine with ghee. It also has a super high smoke point around 485 degrees Fahrenheit, so you can fry with it without it burning like butter does. You can spread it on your tortillas, stir it into potatoes, use it for baking. A little bit adds a huge rich flavor and much needed calories. Don't just stock oils that can go rancid. Add the proven power of ghee to your pantry. Item number 4. At number 4, we have a comfort food classic that also happens to be a prepper superstar: instant mashed potato flakes. This is one of the most efficient ways to store calories, period. They're light, they're cheap, and they last for years if you keep them sealed up. The best part about instant potatoes is how ridiculously easy they are to make. Just add hot water, stir, and you have a hot, filling meal in minutes. That's huge in an emergency when cooking fuel might be low. The speed and efficiency here is a massive advantage. In the context of August 2025, potatoes are a strategic move. Sure, you can store fresh potatoes, but they need perfect root cellar conditions most of us don't have, and they will eventually go bad. Instant flakes give you all the same benefits in a form that's way more stable. It's a dense source of carbs, which means energy. Here's the pro tip that turns instant potatoes from a side dish into a powerhouse. Think of them as a blank slate. You can flavor them with everything else in your stockpile. Stir in that nutritional yeast for a cheesy taste. Add a spoonful of ghee for richness. Mix in a dehydrated soup packet to make an instant thick chowder. You can even use the flakes as a thickener for stews, or as a coating for frying. For the cost and the space, instant potatoes are one of the best investments you can make for your food supply. Item number 3. Freeze-dried cheese. Alright, here it is. Number 3. The one I told you is a total game changer that almost nobody is stockpiling. Freeze-dried cheese. When you think about a crisis, cheese is one of the first things you assume you'll have to give up. It needs a fridge. It goes bad fast. But what if you could have real delicious cheese with a 25-year shelf life? That's the magic of freeze-drying. Freeze-dried cheese is real cheese. They just take all the moisture out. It becomes incredibly light and totally shelf-stable, no refrigeration needed. And it keeps almost all of its original flavor and nutrition. Here's why that's so important: morale. In a long-term, high-stress emergency, having something as normal and comforting as cheese can have a huge psychological impact. It can be the difference between just surviving and keeping a sense of hope. And beyond morale, it's a calorie, protein, and fat bomb. You can rehydrate it with a little water, or just eat it dry as a crunchy snack. And in a barter situation, an item that provides this much comfort and flavor could be incredibly valuable. Here's the pro tip. To get the best texture, rehydrate it slowly with cool water. Then you can grate it over pasta, melt it into sauces, or sprinkle it on your instant potatoes. The upfront cost for freeze-dried food is higher, but you're not just buying cheese. You're buying peace of mind. You're buying the security of having a beloved comfort food, no matter what happens to the power grid. Do not underestimate the power of cheese. Item number 2. Dio canned pumpkin. Our runner-up at number 2 is the humble can of pumpkin. You probably think it's just for making pies in the fall, but you'd be wrong. This is one of the most nutritionally packed and versatile things you can put in your pantry. Pumpkin puree is a superstar. It's loaded with vitamin A for vision and immune health, and it's packed with fiber, which helps you feel full longer, a massive advantage when you're stretching supplies. Canned pumpkin lasts for years in the pantry, and with talk of potential aluminum supply issues possibly affecting can production, securing canned goods like this now is just smart. It's better to have it and not need it. But the real genius here is its versatility. You're not just making pie. Stir it into oatmeal or soup to add nutrients and make them thicker. Mix it into pasta sauce for a vitamin boost. Use it in baking to make muffins and breads. It adds moisture and nutrition to almost anything. And here's a pro tip that most people don't know. Canned pumpkin is fantastic for your pets. If your dog or cat has digestive issues, a spoonful of pumpkin puree can help. In a situation where you can't get to a vet, having a natural remedy for your furry family members is priceless. That makes canned pumpkin a true multi-purpose item for everyone in your house. It's cheap, it's nutritious, and it's a workhorse. One of the smartest things you can add to your stockpile, hands down. Item number 1. 19 Stable. Shelf-stable tofu. And here we are. The number 1 grocery item you should be stockpiling in August 2025. This one might surprise you, but it's one of the most practical, adaptable protein sources you can possibly store. Shelf-stable tofu. Forget the tofu you see in the refrigerated section. We're talking about the kind that comes in those aseptic Tetra Pak boxes. It can sit in your pantry, unopened, for a year or more. In a crisis, protein is everything. It keeps you full, repairs your muscles, and keeps you healthy. And while canned meat and beans are great, tofu has a unique advantage. It's a blank slate. It has almost no flavor, which means it soaks up the flavor of whatever you cook it with. This makes it insanely versatile. You can crumble it like ground meat in a sauce, cube it for soups, or even blend it to make creamy desserts. Here's why it's our number 1 pick right now. It's the intersection of price, stability, and nutrition. Plant-based proteins have been way more price-stable than meat, which has been all over the place. Tofu gives you a high-quality, complete protein for a great price. The ultimate pro tip for shelf-stable tofu is you have to press it. To get the best texture, slice it, put it between some paper towels, and put something heavy on top like a skillet for at least 30 minutes. That squeezes out all the water so it can soak up flavor and get a much firmer, meatier texture. For its incredible versatility, long shelf life without a fridge, and its value as a top-tier protein, shelf-stable tofu is the number 1 item you should be stocking up on this August. So there it is. 10 affordable, long-lasting, and versatile grocery items to lock down your food supply. A quick recap. Powdered eggs, vacuum-sealed tortillas, nutritional yeast, canned coconut milk, dehydrated soup mixes, ghee, instant mashed potatoes, freeze-dried cheese, canned pumpkin, and shelf-stable tofu. Look, building a stockpile isn't about living in fear. It's about taking control. It's knowing that no matter what the news says or what the prices do, you've taken smart steps to provide for your family. You don't have to buy all this at once. Just start small. Next time you're at the store, grab 1 or 2 extra things from this list. Build your pantry over time. It's easier on your budget, and it's not about panic. Preparedness is a journey, and today, you took a huge step forward. If you found this useful and you want to keep learning how to be more prepared, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. In my next video, I'm going to show you exactly how to store these items for the absolute maximum shelf life, a critical step most people mess up. You don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and start stacking.